And hello, fellow aviators. VREF Simmer here, and welcome to tonight's live stream flight. Tonight we're flying on PilotEdge in the Toliss A319 in X-Plane 11, and we'll be going between San Francisco, California, the Bay Area, down south in Cali, to Los Angeles International. So without further ado, let's go ahead, hop up into the cockpit. We have a little bit of paperwork to finish up, some programming, get our clearance. So glad you all could join me this Monday evening, early in the month of March year 2021. Great to have you all here tonight. All right, so first thing we need to do, let's go ahead and get the ATIS, get the clearance here at San Francisco International. So I'm going to pull up the ATIS right here. The frequency is 115.8, 118.85. Let's see if we can pull that up. 118.85. Whoops. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's listen, and I'll copy it down while we listen. All right, so golf is current. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 4,600. 15,000 scattered. Temperature 15. Dew point 2. Altimeter 3020. Arriving runways wait right. 28 left. Departing runways 1 right. 1 left. Visual approaches in use. FR departures contact clearance. All right, so probably 1 right or 1 left there. All right, great. Runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information golf. Alright, so there's golf for us. And we'll tune in and get our clearance. So San Francisco clearance is on 118.2. So we don't have to change the dial too much here. Just roll it up a bit. We'll be right there at 118.2. And I'll call them up and get our clearance down to Los Angeles this evening. And let me make sure I have the controls set up before we do that, because last time I was flying, I was definitely on, yep, that sim. So definitely have to get this set up for, okay, I go to radio. Or it might be contact, I think it's contact ATC. Oops. Contact ATC, that's what I need. Apply. Perfect. We should be, that's Sim Alpha, should be good to go. San Francisco clearance, United 257 to Los Angeles with golf.
Guy 244, Seattle Center radar contact, maintain 11,000, the Helena altimeter 2984.
And one tip, we'll have what we filed pulled up here in case he this helps when he says some.
257 Los Angeles Airport, sticks 4 departure eBay transition that is filed. Columbia City maintain 10,000. Departure frequency 135.1, squawk 5175.
United 257 cleared to Los Angeles. This stick 4 departure eBay transition as filed. Climb via 6, set maintain 1010,000. Departure 135.1, squawk 5175.
United 257, read back correct.
Alright, so as filed pretty much, because you can see we had the stick 4 in eBay. So now we can go ahead and get all this programmed into the McDo. So first thing, we gotta get our cost index in here. Let me go find that. It's going to be back on a page here. I used SimBrief to get this flight plan together, which it is excellent for flight planning. So 22 for the cost index. That gives us our flight level right there that we filed, flight level 350. So I'll put that in. And we'll get the winds loaded. So on the mnemonic I used diffrips. So we already did data, we did a NID A. F is the F in diffrips. So planning a departure off runway 1, I believe it'll be runway 1 right, or 1 left is going to be my guess. So probably 1 left, because it's not very busy on PilotEdge at this airport tonight. So 1 left, stick for an eBay transition. We go back to the flight plan. Then from there, we go direct to Burgle. So let's see here, Los Angeles arrival. That's going to be more than likely 24 right on the north side of the airport, and the Ironman 2 arrival according to this. Hopefully I zoomed in enough where you can see it on the screen. But the Ironman 2 and approach vias. So for 24 right, likely be maybe it'll be Circus. It's just what I'm gonna guess. Circus and Burgle transition on the arrival. So let's go back just to make sure that all makes sense. I can delete this discontinuity between eBay and Burgle, and we'll go ahead and insert this for now. We'll verify it in a bit. 402 for the total distance there. We're showing 333 on the flight plan distance. So it's relatively close for the way the McDo's usually build these flight plans, but we'll verify it in the briefing. Alright, so next we move on the diffrips mnemonic to R, RadNav, and that's all looking good and set. And then we do a NIT-B, which in the Toliss, we're going to need to use the Toliss interactive simulation control system to get to calculate our performance numbers here. So today with our loading info, we have actually we have 86 passengers, and our zero fuel weight is 112,951 pounds, and I got that number from Avatab, which I can show it to you where it's shown on the oops, I think I already had it up. I'll pull it up one more time. So on Avatab, the SimBrief flight plan, there it is, 112,951. So we'll make sure we get our, that's what we were planned at. So we're about 1,400 pounds heavy. So I'll take this down by 1,400 pounds to 2,400. So you see now we're at 112,959. That's really close to that. So we'll apply these load settings. Our zero fuel weight CG is 28.5, so we need to get that set into the McDo here. So zero fuel 112.9. Actually, I'll round it up, 113.0. And slant 28.5 for the zero fuel weight center of gravity. So there that goes, and our block fuel we're planning, we should have 11,650 pounds. So we'll get that set here. 11,000. We'll go to 11.8. So quick fuel, and I'll put that here for our block fuel. So now we have that all set. Takeoff weight, it's showing 124.4. We'll verify that on here. 124.1. And landing weight was planned at 119.3. We're showing 118.6. So that all looks spot on now. And then we'll go ahead and get our V speeds here. So we're planning a 1F departure. We will use a flex thrust. So V1 is, I'm going to write these down really quickly. I'm going to put 123 since it keeps going to that, 130, and then 132 for V2 down here. And our flex temperature that we're going to be entering is 66 degrees Celsius. So let's go ahead and trim. That's the other important thing we need to write down for one left. Up 0.2. Now if they change our runway, we need to rerun these numbers. That's something important to remember. So that's one threat that we have, and a big thing about flying these transport carrier aircraft is threat error management. So identifying threats and then finding ways to manage those threats so that they don't become errors that affect safety. So now we'll go over here to we said diff rips. So next is the P here for performance. So we'll put in our V speeds that we just briefed. So 123 for V1, 130 for VR, and then our V2 was 132. Oh, get this set in here. There we go. And flaps will be at 1, and our flex temperature, like we said, is 66 degrees Celsius. That's really hot. Okay, that's all set. And then our secondary flight plan, usually what I do, I just set up a route back to the airport so that if we lose an engine, need to come back in, we're not having to fool around with all the programming the mech do to come back. Also, I'll hear sometimes pilots will load in the going off the other runway. So if you could have one left or one right, you could load your flight plan going off of one right, and you wouldn't have to re-enter a bunch of stuff. But honestly, I find it's just as easy to just set it here in the mech do, stop if you have to, verify the route again, and then get going. So there we go, we got all that. Let me go back to the secondary flight plan, and in the actual flight plan here, I'm just going to put in our approach that would be taken to 28 right. And I'll insert that, and then we come here and I'll put in the weather here, because that's usually what takes a while when you're coming into land, is entering all that weather information so it can calculate your speeds. So like we said, the altimeter is 30.20. Temperature was 15. So nice day here in San Francisco for sure. I get those winds in. And this is just a technique I use. You don't have to do this, obviously, but it works pretty well for coming back in. It'll be a visual approach back in, so we should be good. All right, I'll go back to the flight plan page. Let's go ahead and finish up the captain's flows. So we start up here at the top, make our way down. We'll get the ground control on for the cockpit voice recorder. Typically you test it here. It's not modeled in this aircraft, as we've seen in previous flights where I've used this Airbus A319. Lights are all set. Go ahead and start up the APU, because we will be heading out of here very shortly. We're due out in the next 10 minutes or so. Alright, got the seatbelt signs all on. Engine, wing, anti-ice. All the anti-ice should be on standard, so engines and wing anti-ice off. Landing elevation's at auto. Let's make sure that it's showing 130 feet, which is good for heading down toward Los Angeles. And while we're down here, let's go ahead and check our consumables, make sure the hydraulic quantities are good. We'll check that the engine oil levels are above 17 quarts, which they are, and also check the oxygen levels in the for the cockpit. So it's at 1850 psi there. Alright, APU starting up. That's good. We'll check that the battery charger is working really quickly. So we'll go to the electric page, see off there, and then I'll turn it back on. And now it's drawing load as it's now recharging. Okay, great. Turn on all the fuel pumps. Get the we'll check the fire detection protection systems. And you can't hold it and look down. So this is about the best I can do with this, simulating this test, but we'll make sure it's at least working. And honestly, on my last flight, Friday night on the stream in the Toliss A319, we had a lot of failures, so that was interesting. Check the cargo smoke. We'll assume that's tested. It's not modeled in the Toliss. And like we said, the altimeter was 3020. So I'll get that set on all of these for our altimeter settings. And in QNH settings 1023, so let's get that set on the standby that stays in QNH. And we'll check the flight director on and off. Get all this set up. I'm actually going to go down to plan mode now, since we're going to be using that for our briefing. And on our clearance, we were cleared up to 10,000 feet. And squawk would be 5175, and we'll go ahead and get that set. Alright, perfect. checking PFD, ND, all that looks good. We'll get the auto brakes to RTO after we take off, or after pushback. And trim will be set to 0.2 up after pushback. Won't let us do it right now. Radar's all set, all that's off. Engines masters are off. Mode selector's in normal, and we're looking good. So let's go ahead and do the departure briefing really quickly. I'll pull up Avatab, and we'll get the McDo and the ND pulled up also, because they will be quite useful in completing this. So here we go. First thing, I actually use the United Virtual Airlines Airbus A319 checklist that has it all listed out, the items you want to brief in your departure briefing. This is just to make sure that we have everything set up before we get moving, so we can focus on keeping the airplane from hitting things and just flying the airplane, not having to focus on all this other stuff. So it's a way we trap errors. So for this departure briefing, we'll start with the aircraft details and weights. And we are on the right aircraft, going San Francisco to Los Angeles. This is the correct flight plan. The date and the time all match. Typically, you check the crew names, which obviously it's not as big a deal here, but we are on the right plane. Weights and fuels, or weights and fuel. So our takeoff weight's 124, 161. And zero fuel weight was 112, 951. That's all matching right over here. And we were planning a gate fuel of 11,650. And we're showing 11,780 right now. Min fuel for takeoff is 11,210. So I have that all written down. We'll be ready to go. Check that as we get to the runway. For our ATIS information, we already looked at that. Gulf is current. Winds are 220 at 15. So we'll have a crosswind. We'll leave the continuous engine mode selector in ignition start for takeoff due to the crosswind. 3020 set on the altimeters, planning to depart runway 1 left. For our weather in Los Angeles, and let me put this in while we're talking about, we actually do have an alternate of Ontario, California planned by our dispatcher, so I'll have that in there. Because we're going to brief that weather too here in just a second. So we got to go down a few pages. There we are with the weather briefing. So forecast here in San Francisco, it's going to be going downhill as we progress through the evening. As the sun sets, winds variable 5 plus 6 miles, showers moving to the vicinity, overcast 4,000 and going down. But should be visual meteorological conditions for the entirety of our flight today. Down in Los Angeles, forecast is calling for winds 260, 14 plus 6 miles, scattered 6,000. And that's slightly lower clouds than it has right now. So the trend in Los Angeles is also going downhill through the evening. But visual meteorological conditions, likely landing on 24 right on the north side of the airport since the winds are out of the west. We do have an alternative Ontario International planned, and it's currently winds 230 at 12, 10 miles, broken clouds 5,000. And becoming broken at 4,000. And looks like it's actually scattered at 4,000. Winds 260, 12 plus 6 miles when we're forecast to get into the area. So nice evening down there. We'll be going through a few clouds, which will be neat using XEnviro. Let's check the notices to airmen for these aircraft or for these airports. Like I said, nothing that should affect us today on PilotEdge from what I see. I'm just looking mostly at the departures and arrivals and approaches. So for Los Angeles, for example, we need to check on the Ironman 2 arrival, see if we see that in here, because they are not going to simulate the taxiway closures and other things on PilotEdge. And then also that ILS to 24 right. But nothing here that should affect us today, it looks like, from what I'm seeing. Just that a lot of taxiway closures, a lot of lights out, and yeah, nothing there. Ontario, Nothing that, just some signs missing, other things. So looks good on the notices to airman side. For our taxi out route, that's something we do need to look at here really quickly. Let's go over to our airport diagram. So we're right here at gate Foxtrot 1, and we're planning to go all the way down to runway 1 left. So likely we'll push back, go to spot 9, call ground there, and it'll likely be Alpha and Mike 1 to 1 left. We do have a hotspot we'll be going through, actually 2 hotspots, hotspot 3, hotspot 1. And here, I'm gonna pull it up on my my tablet on my end of the screen here, because we're running out of room in the Avatab for me to show it. But hotspot 1 and 2, it's important to check these out before you go. So let's see, hotspot 1 is just talking about the this. Hotspot 3 won't affect us. Hotspot 1, that's the one we're going to be. It's just the complex intersections in close proximity of the runways. Pilots taxiing eastbound on Bravo sometimes turn on Foxtrot instead of continuing the turn on Bravo. So we'll just be cognizant as we get in that area. There's just a lot going on. Runway in use is 1 left. We know about the stronger crosswinds, so we'll have the condensed ignition on. Projected takeoff, if it's below 80 knots we have a problem, we'll abort the takeoff for a variety of reasons. Above 80 knots, we're only going to reject the takeoff if there's an engine fire on the aircraft, or the aircraft is not going to be able to get or stay airborne. Takeoff flaps settings, speeds are set 123, 130, 132, transition altitude to flight level 180 set, and flaps we're planning at 1, flexing 66, trims up 0.2. And I get that usually standing by, always displaying in the first officer's MECDU. For our route, we're showing the it's the San Francisco one, left, runway 1 left, on the stick 4 departure. Let me pull that up really quickly. So there's this note up here: speed do not exceed 210 knots until leaving 520 feet, which we do see there. So ports where that routing starts. Initial climb heading 014, which we're showing there, to 520, then climbing left turn direct stick. Alright, great. Then climbing left turn direct port at or below 10,000, which is showing there in the ND, the nav display. So there we are at port, and from port we're going to the eBay transition. It looks like next up is so we have port, top of climb, Sussy, which is right there, eBay, and then Burgle, which is on the Ironman 2 into Los Angeles. So we have Burgle, DeWitt, Crowe, between flight level 290 and 260, Muppet at 280 knots, between flight level 270 and 230, it's showing the 280 there. M-Dots between flight level 240 and 200, Gripper between flight level 230 and flight level 190, Biking between flight level 200 and 16,000, Run between 17 and 14, Ironman between 16 and 12, Simon at 250 knots between 13 and 12, Based at 240 knots at above 9,000, Juice between 9 and 8,000, Cliffy at 210 knots between 8 and 7, and then Dodger at 210 knots at 6,000. That's the first hard altitude. So if we get the Senvia, that's the altitude we're looking for, 6,000, and then obviously Gatto at 6. And then we had these fixes on the ILS at 24 right that we'd put in. It's Vectors, and it's Circus, Skull, Decor, Bria, Palak, Livin, Brook, Mercy, Kobe, and Rafts. That all matches. So a lot there. And we're showing a total distance of 404. Like we said, we are planned at a distance of 333. So that all looks good. And like we said, put these away. Verify once again our squawk code. We're 5175, which is showing. I'm going to go ahead and put this into alt mode so we don't forget before we push back. And that's everything. Let's check on the boarding status via PACX. Make sure everybody's on board. Looks like we're ready to go. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and call for the external power to disconnect, and we'll get the jet bridge to go away. Beacon on. Get everybody to drive away now. And we'll get the jet bridge away. There we go. There it goes. We're going to get better pushback out here. We'll pre-plan our pushback. And I think we're just going to push back. This is kind of a tricky pushback. We're just going to push back right here, and that way we'll have the chance to turn back. Perfect.
Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Alright, we're ready. Come on out.
Cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alright, so the cabin's ready for departure. We'll close the cockpit door now. Get the door locked. And let's go do the before start check. Departure briefing complete. FMC's radios, programs set, verified. ADIRS, nav aligned, hydraulic system set, fuel panel, 6 pumps on, auto cross feed closed, fuel quantity 17,720 pounds, cleared, cross checked, cabin signs on. Hydraulic quantity normal, oil quantity normal, oxygen check complete, auto brakes will be RTO after pushback. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the anti-skid nozzle steering for our pushback and clear that. Altimeters 3020 is set.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Roger. Park and brake set, pressure normal. Gross weight is checked. Let's double check that one more time before we push back. We're showing 124.4, and that does match. It's checked. Airspeed bugs, V1 123, VR 130, V2 132 set. Trims 0, 0, and it'll be up 0.2 after pushback. Doors closed, slides are armed, nav beacon lights on. Cabin preparation complete, ACARS initialized. Before start check complete, so we're ready to go. Yeah.
Tow connected and bike path in service. Release parking brake.
Alright, here we go. Hey Ninja, Nincompoop. Looking forward to your CJRJ video when it comes out. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that Aerosoft CRJ. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, Nincompoop. Great to have you here. Alright, so we're starting our pushback now. I'm going to go ahead and we'll start number 1, then number 2. So here we go. And in the CRJ, it's funny you mentioned that, Nincompoop. You start engine number 2 first on the right side if you're sitting in the cockpit. On the FO side, because the baggage compartment door is on the left. And on the Airbus, you start 1 first because the baggage compartment doors are on the right, so that if you have late bags come up, you can still load them in. So it's gonna be hard to break these habits of flying these Airbus aircraft so much. Let's get back to starting engine number 2 first. There, let's take getting a good start here. The Airbus, wow, it sure is automated. The joy to fly when you set it up right. but that's the trick. It'll do exactly what you tell it to do. So if you program it wrong, you're going to be in a world of hurt. CRJ, on the other hand, gets to do a little more thinking and manually flying, so it's going to be fun.
727 Papa, San Jose ground, runway 30 left, taxi.
All right, we're getting a good start here on
30 left.
number 2.
Whiskey Charlie Victor Bravo.
And we're for sure not going to have any more baggage. But I do have the random failures on, so we could have some crazy failures on this flight. I had about 4 on my flight Friday night from Chicago to St. Louis. So we'll see what happens tonight. Alright, it's a good start.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Alright, brake set. Pressure normal.
Connecting tow.
Clear disconnect. Thank you. We gotta wait until we get the nozzle steering arm there. Go ahead and turn off the APU. We don't need that anymore. And we'll get our trim set to up 0.2 right here, and we can check on the flight control page. There we go. Alright, clear to disconnect, clear off headset. Thanks for the great push. Here, let's check on our ground frequency. So we'll be taxiing. We're right here. We'll be going up to spot 9. And ground frequency is 121.8. So I'll get that tuned in here.
Has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, see ya. Wait for their salute, then we'll turn on the anti-skid nozzle steering. Just don't want to hurt anybody. Oh, look at that! It's gonna be blocked by the little pylon there. Okay, cool. We have our salute. So that's all. Nozzle steering's arm. Parking brake's coming off. Pressure went down. Taxi lights coming on. Let's roll. I'll do a quick brake check. And these are sensitive brakes on here. Alright, so we're taking a right turn out here to spot 9. And we're on ground. Perfect. Let's do a flight control check really quickly. Full forward, neutral. Full aft, neutral. Full left, full left, neutral. Full right, neutral. And let's do a quick rudder check. And that all looks good. And we have the transponder on out, so good to go with that.
KSFO NorCal Road, open altimeter 3020. Thank you for Oscar. Go ahead.
I'll pull up Avatab here so we can. It's easy for us to see where we are, because sometimes the X-plane airports don't always match with the markings and the diagrams the controllers are using. So this is a good way to check and make sure we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, 715 Roger. Quick check D-Bob. Climb and maintain 5,000. Cross D-Bob at 5,000. Cleared on Avianca by 2-way right approach.
Okay, direct D-Bob. Climb and maintain 5,000. Cross D-Bob at or above 5,000. Cleared on GPH and right open. Sky 715 next.
Sky 715 cross D-Bob at 5,000.
Okay, at 5,000 now. Sky 715 right.
Oops. San Francisco ground, United 257, spot 9, ready to taxi with Golf.
257 San Francisco ground, runway 1 left, taxi via Alpha, Mike 1.
Runway 1 left, taxi Alpha, Mike 1, United 257. Okay, so as briefed, it's this first right turn here, so Alpha all the way around the terminal, through that hot spot we briefed, and down to Mike 1 at 1 left. So here we go, we're clear right, clear left, and beautiful day here in San Francisco. All right. Getting some good frame rates too. I have XEnviro loaded, but as you can see, there's not a whole lot of traffic here in PilotEdge today. I'd say typically in PilotEdge, it seems like it gets really crowded in Southern California, and then not as crowded in the other parts of the country, unless, or the Western U.S., unless they're having an event. And I think there's a conflict with the Traffic Global product here, because if I had Traffic Global on, all these gates would be filled. It'd be a hop-in airport. All right, here's our first right turn. Keep wrapping around on Alpha. So for those of you viewing, once again, welcome. Thanks for joining. What is the one aircraft that you all most enjoy flying? I would be curious to hear what you all would say. Because I definitely have in my mind what my favorite aircraft is so far. It could be any simulator, X-Plane 11, DCS, Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. What is your favorite aircraft that you're currently flying? Love to hear. I know, like Nincompoop said, I'm definitely looking forward to that Aerosoft CRJ, and getting ready to come out with some more videos, by the way, for all of you to check out. There's things that we can do right now to get ready for that airplane, and it's things that real pilots are doing to get ready to fly an actual CRJ. So memorizing the limitations. I think Aerosoft just put out their manuals today, like 6 different volumes. It's available in the forums, so check that out. I also put a limitation sheet that I put together based off of the actual aircraft flight manuals for the CRJ 700, 900. It's just a labor of love. I put that together. It's free for you to view and use as you want. And personally, when I learned to fly the actual CRJ 700 and 900, I just write each of those limitations, like a question on the front and then the limitation on the back on a note card. And then if I got I'd review all of them, and then I'd go through each of them, and if I didn't get the question right, I'd put that card in a discard pile. If I got it correct, I put it in another pile, and when I get to the bottom of the stack, I go to the discard pile and just keep reviewing them until I got all of them right. That seems like the best way to learn these. So, Nincompoop, favorite aircraft: Zebro, 737, or Toliss. And as you can see, I'm flying the Toliss tonight. I really do love the Toliss A319 and A321. I have the Zebo. I have not learned to fly it yet, but I've heard from many people that the Zebo is a wonderful aircraft. Alright, so we're making our way. We're going to be at 1 left here soon, so I should go ahead and do our takeoff brief. So we are planning flex thrust takeoff. We're showing an 85.6 at 66C off of runway 1 left, going up to 10,000 feet initially. I'm going to go ahead and get all of our, let's see, our radar, predictive wind shear, all of that ready to roll. Get the slower roll just a smidge here. Make sure I get the TCAS ready to go here. Alright, we're good. And we're flying the Stick 4 departure, which our first thing we're going to be doing is a max of 210 knots up to 520 feet, which is showing here, and then out to Stick. Have the autopilot on since it's an RNAV departure. And this is going to be our turn right here. Let me switch over to tower. Get tower and departure in. And one thing you can always do as a captain, control the speed of your taxi. That lets your first officer not get too overworked. So see, I slowed down here because we're getting close. I still have a little bit of work to do. So 120.5. Is it 0.5 or 5? It's 120.5. Okay. And typically, as captain, I would be taxiing. I'd let the first officer handle all this radio stuff. And we said departure was going to be 135.1. So I'll get that set up right here. There's a lot of rolling of the mouse wheel. There we go, 135.1 standing by. And let's go through the rest of our checks here. We need to make sure the cabin is ready to go, which they are, and takeoff config, we'll test that. Do the status check, recall, all that's good. Let's do the before takeoff check. Flaps 1F planned indicating, green light detent. It's all set. Control check complete. FCU, manage speed nav. Engine anti-ice is off. As we briefed, we are going to turn on the continuous ignition for the crosswinds. Trims, weight, speeds, check set. FMC's radios. Program set for departure. Egypt was radar. Terrain on the left. We'll do radar, weather on the right. Thrust 85, 6 flex. Takeoff configuration normal. ECAM status check complete. Cabin notification complete. Transponder TARA takeoff memo green. And standing by on the lights. San Francisco Tower, United 257, holding short, 1 left.
257, San Francisco, runway 1 left, clear for takeoff, wind 20016.
Clear for takeoff, 1 left, United 257. Okay, we're clear on the right, final looks clear, we'll get all the lights on.
Got 715, contact approach, 135.65.
Yeah, 135,
That's it, that's takeoff. So, landing and strobe lights on, before takeoff check complete. And we're showing 11,500 pounds of fuel for takeoff. Our min fuel is 11,210, so we're good. So I'll write down 11.5.
Roger, 77 copies for radar.
Disconnected.
And I gotta reconnect here. And there it goes. All right. See if it'll let me reconnect. I think my internet went out for just a split second and it disconnected me from PilotEdge. So let's try this one more time. Connecting on active runway not permitted. Okay, so here we go. We'll connect in just a minute. We're clear for takeoff. I have controls. And set. Set thrust. Thrust set. $90 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. And there's our turn. And we gotta wait till 1200. I'll turn on the autopilot. And autopilot on. And I'm gonna try to reconnect to PilotEdge really quickly. If it'll let me. And thrust lever to climb. Climb thrust set. Let's try this again.
Connected to
715, contact over tower, 118.3. At 257.
Flaps up.
Jumped offline, just saw you come back. Contact NorCal departure.
Alright, 257, good day.
Eugene Tower, Papa 127 Bravo Echo, reporting mid-field, runway 16 right.
177 Bravo Echo, Eugene, right 16 right, clear to land.
Let's do a quick flyby.
Right.
Watch yours. Let's check our temperature here. We're showing a total air temperature at 13 C, so we shouldn't need the anti-ice. Departure United 257, 4,200, climb via the stick 4.
At 257, departure radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Climb maintain flight level 190, United 257. Alright, 19 set. Which is good. Oh no. Wow, what a beautiful view out in San Francisco when you're flying out of here. There's a view from the back, passenger's view. Let's see if we can get a view of the Golden Gate Bridge back behind us maybe. Oh yeah, there it is. Very cool. Alright, after takeoff check, landing gear lever up, flaps up, engine anti-ice is off, ECAM memo checked, altimeter standing by for transition level. Takeoff check to line complete. And just trying to make sure that my internet is not working quite right tonight, unfortunately. Alright, so we've leveled off so that we've crossed port at or below 10,000, and then we'll continue our climb up to flight level 190. And let me try to reconnect to PilotEdge. And it's saying call sign already in use. It's going to take a little while before I can use it, I'm guessing. So that's too bad. Too bad. Just keep trying what I can. Not sure why the let's try it again. Looks like it's
Connected to PilotEdge.
Alright, so we're back on PilotEdge. Looks like the live stream shut itself down, which is too bad. And it looks like the thrust levers got out of the climb detent, so let's get that back set. There we go. What's up? Push 10,000. We'll give the flight attendants the bells.
177 Bravo, Echo, parking via Alpha, minutes frequency.
Parking Alpha, 177 Bravo Echo.
Walker 602, tagged Denver Center 127.02. Walker 602, Denver Center.
And we might be having some thrust lever issues. Let's see here. There we are. We're in the climb detent as. Whoops. There we go.
Big Sky approach, Sky High 244 on the ground in Livingston, flight apartment.
Sky 244, airport station received, thank you.
Thanks, sir. Sky High 244.
Sky 715, exit right when Ames parking via Charlie, monitor ground. And for Sky 9.
Right label and 72 parking via Charlie, essentially passing the
And it was definitely distracting trying to deal with that. It looks like the live stream is not going right now. I can't tell. So we'll just keep filming. For some reason the thrust levers keep moving out of the climb detent, so that's weird. Alright, coming up on a cloud layer, you can see right now we're at -2 for our total air temperature, -20 for this sat, so we need to turn on our wing and engine anti-ice for just a second as we go through this visible moisture. These clouds. It shouldn't take too long. And we'll be right back to standard on the anti-ice. Alright, there's flywheel 190. And so we have the temperature standard set, landing lights off after takeoff check complete. I'm gonna see if I can contact approach, let them know we're level 190. So we're gonna go through clouds again, so we'll leave the engine and wing anti-ice on. San Francisco departure, United 257 radio check.
Hey, 257, I dropped off landing. I do have your radar contact again, though. 11 miles southwest of San Jose, same altitude exchange for it.
I missed the last part of the transmission, but yes, position and altitude check, we're at flywheel 190.
Hey, 257, contact center 127.45.
2745, United 257. Oakland Center, United 257, flywheel 190. Now go back to standard on the anti-ice. Alright, we'll try again in here in just a minute. Don't think he heard us. And there goes the thrust lever again, moving. That's really weird. Oakland Center, United 257, flight level 190.
257 Oakland Center, climb maintain flight level 350.
Climb maintain flight level 350, United 257. Alright, 350 set, here we go. And we'll try to see if I can't get this live stream working again. Thank you, Ninkapoops. I'm working. Let's see if I can get this working. I am aware my live stream went down, so my internet has not been good here today.
Papa make a good tower left downwind, runway 25, clear to land.
Oh, I'm gonna go and try to start this back up again. And we'll get this rolling. Here we go.
Got 244. Seattle's correction select center. 7,900. It's not a valid IFR.
Alright, I'm back live.
Change your altitude and follow proper altitude.
Some sort of way. Apologize for the stream going down.
Proper altitude.
Just having some internet issues here today for some odd reason. I'm gonna go back to normal mode on the engine ignition. Let's see, maybe we can see Pebble Beach out there, Monterey Bay. Yeah, I think that's the Monterey Bay down there. So Pebble Beach, Monterey would be down in there. Very neat. Alright, looks like the live stream is back up now. So definitely do apologize for that technical difficulty. Doesn't happen often, but sometimes internet does stop working for whatever reason.
So got 244 Salt Lake Center. It's going to Big Timber Airport. It's filed, maintained 9,000. Departure frequency is 18.907, squawk 4326, hold for release.
Alright, we're going to check our fuel when we get here to Sussy. So if we look at our flight plan on Avatab, we were planned
244 reback correct, advise frequency first line for departure.
at Sussy with 8,428 pounds of fuel. Right now we're up at 8,960, so looks like we might actually be ahead of schedule. A little extra fuel when we get up there, which is good. That's better than the alternative of not having enough. Still, let's see. Sussy's still 23 nautical miles away. This Orbix scenery down below, you can see how incredible that looks. It's always beautiful. But making good progress. We'll go ahead and have a drink here in the cockpit. Have a bubbly, not that type of bubbly. It's just the sparkling water type of bubbly. Looks like the thrust levers are staying in the climb detent now, which is good. And we might actually stay out of clouds during this part of the climb too. So, very cool.
My section RB Alpha Guinea.
Alright, there's Sussy 8,500, so that's showing us being pretty close. So we're saying 8,428 at Sussy, so yep, that's just about 70 pounds of extra fuel. So right on track.
Got 244, release your departure, clearance void in 5 minutes, current time is 0111.
And looks like our Delta P is looking good at 7.7. Cabin altitude 7,060 feet. So pressurization's all looking good so far. Altimeters are all really close agreement, so. Alright, there's 34.5 for 350. About to level off at our cruising altitude at 35,000 feet. Then we'll turn off the seatbelt sign. Alright, there's out. And you know what? It almost looks like we're just about to get into a little haze layer. So we're now at a sat temperature of negative 54. So we're below negative 40. We don't need the anti-ice at all, even if we get in some clouds up here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the seatbelt sign and make an announcement in the back. I'll be back on one in just a second. And ladies and gentlemen, Captain speaking from the flight tech. We're up at our cruising altitude 35,000 feet. Seatbelt sign's now off. However, we do ask that if you are seated, that you keep your seatbelt securely fast in case we encounter unexpected turbulence. Just a little over. And it cut me off at that point of the PA. So I'm using PACX for the passenger interaction and those sort of things this evening. Which it is fun. Lets you kind of get to have fun dealing with passengers and Trying to keep him happy. I'm still learning the ropes with it though. Wow, what a view.
Big Sky departure ident.
Snacks and drink service is starting.
Sky 244 is ready to contact 3 miles west of Livingston, New York. What approach are you looking for? Sky 244 cross Livingston VOR at 9,000, cleared on runway 6 approach, report procedure, turn inbound. Actually, disregard report the JUTIM inbound. JUTIM inbound.
Alright, nincompoop. I got your comment on my CRJ video that my stream went down, so yeah, thanks for commenting. Sorry about the technical difficulties today. Like I said, I might have to get a professional out here to check the internet if that keeps happening regularly. But we'll see. Alright, I'm going to do a quick flyby, so watch your ears. Here we go. Wow. See the contrails. And you can see we have a pretty strong crosswind. Look at that, directly off the right side, 228, 88 knots. So rather substantial for sure. I don't think there's our turn at eBay. And we're showing 7,940 pounds of fuel. And at eBay, we were planning 7,923, so we're just about right on with our fuel load. Definitely been a smooth ride still, so I think we can leave the seatbelt sign off for now. And we're still showing 238 nautical miles out. I'm going to pull up the ATIS here soon. That way we can go ahead and start getting the MEC2 set up. Brief the approach. Alright, so I'm going to use the digital ATIS to get that, and basically it's just going to be my cell phone.
Oakland ground 093, taxi via Bravo and Whiskey.
It's a pretty substantial thrust increase there. Huh. I'm going to go to the PilotEdge website, and then they have the digital ATIS that you can pull up for all of the airports that are in their system, which is really nice. And because typically if you're in an actual aircraft, you would use your ACARS to get the ATIS, So information delta is current, and it looks like this is at 0053 Zulu, so just about 24 minutes ago, because we're at 0117 now. It looks like it was showing winds were 250 at 13, 10 miles visibility, a few clouds at 10,000, and a few at 25. 14 degrees for the temperature, 6 for the dew point, and 3016 altimeter. Arriving runway is 24 right, 25 right. Departing runway is 24 left, 25 right. ILS runway 24 right and 25 right approach in use, or vector for visual approach will be provided. Simultaneous visual approaches to all runways are in progress. Simultaneous instrument departures in progress. Alright. Sounds good. Notice to airmen. Runway 7 right, 25 left, closed. Understood. So we're planning that to land on 24 right. As briefed earlier. We'll go ahead and plug in the destination weather though. Get that all in for the approach. So we're saying 3016 was QNH, the altimeter there. Temperature 14 degrees Celsius. The winds were 250 at 13. And MDA and DH, let's look at that here on our tablet. So 322, we'll put that in. It should be a visual, but we'll have it in there just in case. Looking at our approach speed of 129. So I'm going to write that down on my scratch pad here on my yoke. So
between you and the airport register is jumping into port cancellation in the air on this frequency cancel the ground set by but that's on at 122.2 frequency approved.
alright. And let's go ahead and brief the arrival and the approach. So I'll pull up Avatab. I'm going to close out, declutter the Avatab here, and get rid of all the San Francisco charts. And let me pull up a few more for Los Angeles. We're going to need our airport diagram and the gates at the Bradley, the terminals 1 through 8 in the Bradley. So let's see, you get the terminals 1 through 8 through the Bradley terminal. Okay, good. Alright, let's verify all this. I'm gonna go to plan mode. Looks like we are we're coming up on do it here pretty shortly in the Ironman 2. So do it, we do not have an altitude. Looks like next up we're gonna have Crowney, fly level 290 and 260. Then Muppet, 280 knots between 27 and 23. M-dots between 24 and 20. Gripper, fly level 230 to 190. Viking, flying fly level 200 and 16. Run between 17 and 14. Ironman between 16 and 12. Simon, 250 between 13 and 12. Based. Whoops, sorry. Let me get this down a little closer. Based, 240 at or above 9,000. Juice between 9 and 8. Cliffy at 210 at between 8 and 7. Dodger at 210 at 6. Gatto at 6. And vectors. We'll brief the approach once we start the descent. We need to start our descent here pretty soon, I believe. So we're right. Yep, we're right there. Center United 257. Request lower. And center United 257.
Stand by.
Alright, cool.
257 connect LA Center 133.2.
132.2, United 257, good day.
257 33.2.
33.2, 257, good day.
Walker 602 contact Denver approach 123.85.
LA Center United 257, flight level 350.
257 LA Center, good evening. Descend by the Ironman 2 arrival.
Send by the Ironman to arrival, United 257. Alright, 6,000 set, push it in. Here we go.
8023, contact SoCal approach 135.4.
So we have to be at or below flight level 290 in 15 miles. That's 6,000 feet we have to lose. We're at a ground speed of 430 knots. Let me turn on the seatbelt sign. And seatbelt sign on.
7 Charlie Mike, Anderson Airport, just slightly right of your 12 o'clock.
It's looking good. We're going down at 4,000 feet per minute, so yeah, we should be good with reaching our altitude restriction at Crowe at or below 290 or below 290.
8023, SoCal approach, bracket altimeter 3014, proceed direct Paradise, bracket ILS 26 left approach.
And I want to make sure we get back on profile, which we're looking pretty good here.
7 Charlie Mike, safe enter right down, clear the visual approach, runway 17 right.
We have a flight plan discontinuity at the oh, that's for the approach. Okay, good.
7 Charlie Mike, County Anderson Tower 125.1, good day.
Alright, looks like we're going to make our restriction there no problem. Let's go ahead and continue our briefing here. Back on the approach. Pull up Avatab again. Alright, so first fix. Circus. Max 270 knots, then it's Skull. Likely they'll intercept us somewhere in this area. I'm not sure exactly where. Skull at or above 10, Decor at or above 9, Berea at or above 8,000, Pelic at or above 7, Livin at or above 6, Brook at or above 5, Mercy at or above 4, Kobe above 2,200. We'll be on the glide slope there, probably well before there. And then we have the runway and the mist, which is a climb to 2,000 on heading 251 outbound of the Los Angeles 260 radial to Rafts intersection and hold. Left hand turns 260 inbound, which that's exactly what it's showing. Alright, go back to arc mode. We don't have any. We have a speed restriction of 280 knots at Muppet, so let's make sure we're gonna hit that. Looks like it's getting us slowed, which is good. Between 27 and 230. Yep, we're good. All right, like I said, 19th February 2111-6 ILS 24 right. 108.5 is the localizer. And that's what we're showing in the RadNav page. India, Oscar, Sierra, Sierra for the identifier, which is matches the chart, the plate. 251 course inbound. Intercept glide slope at Kobe at 2,200. ILSTA is 322, which is set. Whoops. Set. Touchdown zone elevations 122, airport elevations 128. The pressurization is good. We already briefed the missed approach. Could be with the tower also on a visual approach. MSA is 4,200 to the west.
257, connect LA Center 135.5.
135.5, United 257.
Walker 605, stand by the Angel for arrival.
Descend by the Angel 4, Walker 605.
LA Center, United 257, flight level 221, descending via the Ironman 2.
We have 257 LA Center, Roger, LA altimeter 3016.
3016, United 257. Alright, highest obstacle. There's a mountain 10,050 feet just to the north and east of the localizer course going in there. And
LA Center, Walker 605, I'm sorry. You said descend
VGSI and
by
ILS glide path not coinciding. VGSI angle is 3.3 degrees. Okay. And the Mauser and Pappy's on the right side of 24 left. And we're looking for a Pappy that's on the left side. So that's another way to make sure we're landing on the correct runway. After we land, we're going to use low brakes. So go ahead and get that set. Left hand turn off likely at Zulu. And there's a hot spot when we get off there. Let's take a look at that really quickly. So we're on the 10-9 Alpha. And that's what, hot spot 2? Let's look at that. Oh, maybe it's on the 10-9. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. Pilots sometimes fail to hold short or runway 24 left when exiting 24 right at Zulu. So we'll make sure we hold short 24 left, get clearance to cross, and it's likely Zulu, Echo, and Papa, and Bravo or Charlie down to, we're parking at gate 70 Bravo today. So 70 Bravo is going to have us down here, so in at Charlie 6. So that's our plan. Altimeter is 3016. Let's go ahead and get that set. Coming through our transition level. And that's going to be a QNH of 1021. Get our lights on. And approach descent check. Approach briefing complete. FMC's radio is programmed set for departure. Aviation Boss and Guitar, hi. Welcome aboard. Great to have you here, Aviation Boss. Glad you're here with us today on the descent. Just in time for the approach descent check, so here we go. Approach briefing complete. FMC's radio is programmed set for approach. ECAM status check. Let's do that really quickly. It's good. Complete. EgyptWiz radar. We have terrain on the left, radar on the right. Looks like terrain's going to be our main threat today. Airspeed. Like we said, we're planning approach speed of 129, flaps full, and FMC is set.
727, Papa, Santa Barbara approach,
MDA is set, auto brake set, altimeter 3016 set, landing lights set. Approach descent check complete. Alright, so we're coming up on running. Yeah, we're still supposed to be at 280 knots. How are we looking on our speed? We're maybe a little slow. But yeah, it looks like, I guess the Airbus just kind of maintains a range. It's not too busy here today, so. Alright, yeah, we're definitely below, between 17 and 14 there, so right on track. Alright, let's do a quick flyby. Watch your ears.
Yeah, 257, connect to Stella approach 124.5.
Say again the frequency.
124.5.
24.5, United 257, good day.
33 Lima, connect LA Center 133.2.
Alright, over to approach. SoCal approach, good evening, United 257, 14000, descending via the Ironman 2 with Delta.
United 257, SoCal approach, LA altimeter 3016, expect the ILS from 825, right approach.
3016, and can we put ILS 24 right on request, United 257?
257, absolutely, expect the ILS 248.
Expect ILS 24 right, United 257. And you know, we'd already done all that work getting everything set up for that runway, so of course, if we can get it, we might as well take it, right? So very cool. So aviation, Boston Guitar. Hope you're doing well this evening. Glad you're joining us. We had quite a few people on here earlier, but my stream died, so sorry you missed out on the party, but I'm glad that you are here. And I'll ask you a question I asked our viewers earlier. What is your favorite aircraft you have ever flown in any flight simulator? Doesn't have to be just X-Plane 11. It could be Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, one of the old Microsoft Flight Simulators, or even DCS. What would be your answer to that question? I'm curious to know. So, mine would probably be a PMDG 737 I flew in a previous version of Flight Simulator. Alright, so we're supposed to be slowing to 250 knots. Looks like we're right there, which is good. Now we're between 13 and 12,000. Right on track. And
That's a very awkward turn. 3-2 Lima Crater Rectactor.
that was a unique transmission. That's an awkward transmission. I wonder who made the awkward turn. It made the controller question it. I don't think it was us. Alright, I'm going to try this again. Let's do a quick flyby. Watch your ears. There's Los Angeles. Alright, very cool.
Good afternoon or evening, Alaska 1945 with you.
I'm going to say XEnviro is stunning for the weather in X-Plane 11. Definitely highly recommend it. Alright, coming on 10,000 feet. Let's take a quick look out the back. Passengers' views. You can see we're getting a little bit of turbulence. You can see that wing bouncing in the turbulence a little bit. Alright, coming up on base, should be at 240 knots. We're right on. Look at that. Great job by the autopilot. And at or above 9,000 feet, which we're right on target. Alright, looking good. So that bottom altitude is 6,000 feet set, which we should be there at Dodger. So here in a little over a week, we're going to have the Aerosoft CRJ to fly, and that's going to be a lot of fun because we'll be getting to actually, if you fly the same arrival, you'll be doing a lot more work than we are in this Airbus, because you'll be making sure you're hitting each of these speeds. And the CRJ has a, we call it the snowflake that you follow down. It gives you a VNAV info, but unless they have a fancy avionics package on that Aerosoft, you're likely going to be having to set the vertical speed and things yourself to keep on the descent profile and slow yourself down. As it does have FADEC in the CRJ, but not auto throttle. So you have to manage a lot more yourself, which actually makes for a really exciting and fun flight.
7 maintain 5,000, 27 Papa.
Alright, right juice, 8,000 for now. We're ready to go flaps 1.
Headed 257, can I SoCal approach 128.5?
1285, United 257. SoCal approach, United 257, 7,600 descending via the Ironman 2.
257 SoCal approach, LA altimeter 3016, fly heading 070, vector final approach course, descend to 4,000.
Heading 070, descend 4,000, United 257. Alright, so 7,000 or 070 down to 4,000.
Alaska 1945, you seem to be having a hard time climbing. Everything okay there?
Yeah, it looks like we had a bird strike on departure. We need to return to field.
I'm gonna slow this to 210.
Right, heading 100 and descend and maintain 3,000.
1003,000 Alaska 1945.
Visual 27 work.
Yeah, that worked for us. And we have 138 souls on board and about 2 hours and 45 minutes on fuel.
That's too bad. Bird strike.
It's the right engine out.
Lost an engine. Alright. Flaps 1. We're getting some serious turbulence. Let's turn on the ignition start. The runway should be off there.
November 8023, connect bracket tower 18.2.
Roger, 118.223.
There's LAX.
27 Papa, the San Luis Airport, 12 o'clock, 11 miles.
27 Papa has field sight.
27 Papa, thanks for the visual approach, runway 29er.
Good visual approach runway 29er, 27 Papa.
Alaska 1945, Limburg Airport, 2 o'clock, 10 miles.
Let's say Alaska 1945.
Alaska 1945, good visual approach, runway 27.
Good visual 27 Alaska 1945.
Alright, so over there we have, let's see, what fix are we? A beam. We're being Kobe, so we'd have to be at 2,200 there. I'm guessing Mercy's probably where they're going to have us intercept the localizer. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the LS mode so we do have the identifier for the localizer. India, Oscar Sierra Sierra 108.5.
Alaska 1945, connect Limburg Tower 118.3.
And that does match
Alaska 1945.
And he is aware of your situation.
localizer for
Walker 605,
248.
SoCal approach
185.
122.37.
It's Dodger Stadium. Very cool.
Walker 605, connect SoCal approach 132.37.
And it sounds like we're leveling off. Speed brakes back in.
727 Papa, connect San Luis Tower 124.0.
Out.
San Luis Tower 124.0727 Papa, good day.
2081 Juliet, expect the visual approach from my 29er. Just let me know if you'd like something else.
Visual approach tonight is great. 81 Juliet.
81 Juliet, expect fly heading 330, vector for the airport, descend to 4,000.
330, descend 4,000, 81 Juliet.
SoCal approach, Walker 605, good evening. Flight level 201, descending by the Angel 4, we have Delta. Walker 605, SoCal approach, LA altimeter 3016 at Circus, cleared ILS runway 25, right emerge. At Circus, clear for the ILS runway 25, right approach, Walker 605.
Alright, I'm guessing he'll give us the base turn here shortly.
257, turn right heading 160, descend and maintain at 3000.
Right, 160, descend 3000, United 257. 16, or 160 for the heading down to 3000. $4,000 for 3,000.
Headed 257, 9 miles from Kobe, turn right heading 220, maintain 2,600 till established on the local ILS, ILS remain 24 right over.
Heading 220, maintain 2,600 till established, cleared ILS 24 right approach, United 257. Alright, 220 down to 2,600. I'll get that set really quickly. 2,600 set and arm the approach. And we're going to outscap here in just a second, so I'll go ahead and let's go ahead. And we're going to go ahead and activate approach phase, confirm, and start.
2,500.
Since we're
2,500.
actually cancel that. I'm gonna wait until we're approaching Kobe there. I thought we were a little closer in for a second. All right, low. I have the airport in sight out there. Landing on 24 right into the sunset. And Kobe's our final approach fix here.
231 Juliet, turn left heading 310.
310, able to do it.
And we'll go ahead and start slowing this down because I would like to be mostly configured by the time we get to our final approach fix there. And technically it is an ILS approach, so let's go ahead and go gear down. Flaps 2. Flaps 3. And full flaps.
Heading 257, can I activate tower 133.9, or we'll see you.
33.9, United 257, good night. LA Tower, United 257, outside Kobe.
United 257, Los Angeles Tower, runway 24 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 24 right, United 257. Alright, that's cool. That must be the fix they just named for Kobe Bryant there. Very recently, you can see the date on the chart of 19th of February 2021.
2,000.
Santa Barbara clearance delivery, Skyhawk, November 555.
And if you look at the bottom of the chart, you can see the changes. Jetsa changed to Kobe. So, yep.
November 515, Bravo Mike.
In honor of Kobe Bryant.
On departure, fly runway heading, maintain VFR header below 1,500.
Okay, 4 land check, cabin notification complete, landing gear down, 3 green lights, spoilers, arms, flaps, full plan, full indicating, missed approach. Missed approach heading out to, we're going up to 2,000, so I'm going to go ahead and get that set. So Approach heading altitude set, 4 lane check complete.
120.55 with a frequency 6676 on the squawk. There's a cat in there.
5155 Mike, green back, correct.
2165 is going to be ground on the north side.
1945, clear runway Bravo 6.
Alaska 1945, taxi to parking via Alpha. Correction, taxi to parking via Bravo.
Alaska 1945.
Sorry, that's Bravo, monitor ground.
Bravo monitor ground, Alaska 1945.
San Luis Tower, Bonanza 727 Pop, clear runway 29er, taxi straight ahead to the Jet Center.
November 27 Papa, taxi to parking via Alpha, this frequency.
Taxi parking by Alpha
1,000.
Autopilot's coming off. Approach heading altitude or set.
St. Louis Tower, Cessna 896 Bravo Mike. I'm making my left base turn right now for runway 29er.
Okay. I don't know why you don't need to report that. And you're clear, runway 29er, clear for the option.
Runway 29er clear for the option, 896 Bravo Mike.
6 Bravo Mike, you should
Very
really not fly like a 3-mile final. It should really be about a mile at the longest.
Okay, thanks for the tip.
And very slight quartering headwinds from left to right.
500.
Santa Barbara ground, Skyhawk 515 Papa Mike at Atlantic, ready to taxi.
400.
500.
$300. 100 above.
November 515 Papa Mike, Santa Barbara ground, runway 25, taxi via Bravo Alpha.
200. Minimum.
Runway in sight, landing.
Bravo Alpha Golf 225 515 Papa Mike.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10. 5.
And we'll get the revert. And there's 90 knots. So the reversers go up on the raking manually.
November 3 Lima Charlie, runway 29er, are clear for the option. 29er, clear for the option. Clear 2 midfield.
And we'll make sure we hold short 24 left.
Roger, once you're cleared for the option, you don't need to report anything anymore.
The local time is 5:50
Roger,
p.m.
thank you.
and it's currently about 57 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when
Let's go ahead and raise the flaps while we're waiting here.
during the flight. As this is your final destination,
And
thanks for flying with us and we hope to see you again soon.
he's probably forgotten about us, unless there's somebody taking off. We'll go ahead and turn off all this stuff while we're waiting. Might as well. Let's see. And LA Tower 9257, clear 24 right. Zulu holding short 24 left, going to gate 70 Bravo.
United 257, cross runway 24 left at Zulu, contact ground on the other side.
Cross 24 left, Zulu, ground on the other side, 9257. Okay, clear across 24 left, here we go. Let's go on across here. Clear right. Clear left. Clear across.
St. Louis Tower, Cessna 8-9er, 6 Bravo Mike, is clear of runway 29er, requesting taxi to transient parking.
8-9er 6 Bravo Mike, taxi to parking via Alpha.
Taxi to parking via Alpha, 8-9er 6 Bravo Mike.
LA ground, United 257 clearing 24 left Zulu going to Terminal 7.
United 257, actually LA ground, taxi to parking via Echo Kilo Delta.
Echo Kilo Delta to parking, United 257. Alright, so left turn here. Echo be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th right on Kilo there. Let's get our lights set up here.
November 515, Bravo Mike, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 25 for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff on 25, 515, Papa Mike.
Alright.
Santa Tower, Skyhawk 2081 Juliet is on the visual for 25.
November 201 Juliet, San Luis Tower, runway 29er, clear to land. Traffic is Skyline on the upwind. I'll keep you advised.
Alright, to find clear to land, I'll look for traffic, 81 Juliet.
San Luis ground, November 221 Romeo Whiskey, how do you hear me?
221 Romeo Whiskey, 5x5.
Tower, Walker 605, good evening. ILS 25 right.
Walker 605, correction, Los Angeles Tower, runway 25 right, clear to land.
Okay, so not this right turn, but the next right turn will be Kilo.
Dash ground, King Air 73 Mike Charlie.
Switch that to night mode. There's somebody out there flying. Alright, right turn here on Kilo.
I know that you rejected your last DCL. Do I need to resend it, or I need to resend it if you want to accept it.
On the APU bleeds.
Accept it. Go ahead and send it again.
To make sure they should be on it.
Thank you, sir.
And then we'll be turning left on Bravo down here.
Mike Charlie, select for the perfect flight. We're base of the tower, and we've got my clearance and ready to taxi.
Perfect flight, what's that? No.
3 Mike Charlie, ground runway 16 right, taxi via Alpha Charlie.
I've never known someone that's had a perfect flight. There's always something you could do a little better.
San Luis ground, November 221 Romeo Whiskey with information. Papa, we're in the northern parking area. We'd like to taxi for closed pattern work.
November 221 Romeo Whiskey, San Luis ground, runway 29er, taxi via Alpha.
Okay, that's runway 29er and via Alpha for 221 Romeo Whiskey.
Number 3 Lima Charlie, are you able to make a short approach?
Yes, sir.
For 533 Lima Charlie, runway 29er, cleared short approach. Make short approach, runway 29er, cleared for the option.
Clear for the option, I got that traffic coming. You want me to send it in favor?
Sure, we can do that as well. November 3 Lima Charlie, extend your downwind, and I'll call your pitch check.
Sounds good. LA Tower, Walker 605 went around, published missed.
Walker 605, roger, go, correction, contact, SoCal departure 125.2.
252 Walker 605.
LA ground United 257. We're on Kilo. Did you want us to turn left on Charlie or Bravo to the gate?
United 257, sorry, I thought you were parking on the north side, so I said Delta. Turn left on Charlie to park.
Charlie to park, United 257. Have a good night.
Good night.
Santa Barbara Tower, Skyhawk 515, pop-up mic, request frequency change to approach.
We're 515 Mike, radar contact Santa Barbara departure.
Santa Barbara departure.
Alright, clear left, clear right.
Lima Charlie, turn base, and runway 29 clear for the option number 2.
Turn left base, and clear the option number 2 for Lima Charlie.
And like we said, we're going down here to Terminal 7, so it'll be at Charlie 6. And we're going to the gate 70 Bravo, so Charlie 6 into the ramp.
30 via Alpha, 557 Tango Whiskey.
Ground, good evening, Walker 169, say Beechcraft Bear 58 slant golf, requesting departure to the southeast. We have pop-up. Delta to 29, Walker 169.
Yeah, we're taxiing pretty fast here. Trying to make A14. Alright, here comes our turn.
St. Louis Ground, Walker 169. We're at the base of the tower. We're going to get weighted as Skyhawk in front of us.
Alright, clear left. Clear right. Turning left.
St. Louis Tower, Skyhawk. 231 Juliet, cleared, 29 at Echo. Would like to taxi straight ahead.
We'll turn off the taxi light. I'll blind the rampers.
Straight ahead, remain frequency, 81 Juliet.
San Maria Tower, Skyhawk 557 Tango Whiskey, holding short, runway 30, like to depart to the north with information option.
557 Tango Whiskey, Santa Maria Tower, northbound departure approved, runway 30, clear for takeoff.
Runway 30, clear for takeoff, northern departure, 557 Tango Whiskey.
Alright, here comes 70 Bravo. There we are.
Dallas Tower, King Air 73 Mike Charlie, holding short, runway 16 right, ready for departure. 73 Mike Charlie, Van Nuys Tower, runway 16 right, cleared for takeoff. 16 right, clear for takeoff, 73 Mike Charlie.
Cool, we're identified there, A319. And it looks like it's tracking us inbound. Good. Try to make this a smooth stop if I can. And there we are. Alright, park and brake is set. APU is operating. Shut down to back to normal on the ignition there, the engine mode. Shut down 1. And beacon off. Seatbelt sign off.
29 clear for takeoff, we'll report.
And we'll get the jet bridge up, get all the equipment around. Let's see here. 70 Bravo, there it goes. Perfect. And let's get all the equipment to come out, do all the ground handling work that needs to be done. Here they come. Turn on the dome light for us.
Departure Trailer Charlie, emergency gunner, clear for the option.
Clear for the option for the Mitchell.
Number 7 Tree Mac Island, contact departure. Good departure, 7 Mike Charlie.
There it is. Good. Got that light off. Turn the emergency exit lights off. Get the fuel pumps all off. Fuel flow is showing 0. The brakes are actually hot now. Okay. Check that, and I'm going to unlock the cockpit door. Radars are off. Radar's off. Get the transponder off. And let's do the parking check. Parking brake set. APU is operating. Engine master switches off. Fuel flow 0. Transponder standby. Emergency lights off. Beacon checked off. Fuel pumps off. Anti-ice off. ACARS end of flight ADIRS off. Parking check complete. Alright, well let's hop out. Let's do a quick look at the exterior of the aircraft, make sure everything looks good. So just a quick way to do it here. We'll get down to the bottom of the jet bridge and look around really quickly. Make sure it all looks consistent. And once again, thanks for joining me on this flight. VREF Simmer for now, signing off. Welcome to Los Angeles. Stay tuned. Show a quick replay of the landing. Until next time, have a good night. See you in the air again soon.